We were not aware. We're obviously watching this very carefully. Very good to see that the martial law edict was withdrawn by President Yoon after the Parliament voted against it. And for us, this is one of the most critical alliances that we have anywhere in the world. South Korean democracy is one of the most powerful stories anywhere in the world. It's very important that any disputes, differences, political differences be resolved peacefully and pursuant to the rule of law. That's what we're seeing now. That's what's so important to sustain.
The fact that U.S. hasn't been informed and it didn't have an idea about this, some people interpret that as a gap in intelligence. What do you say to that?
Look, I can't get into the decision-making that partners make. We are certainly not routinely informed of every decision that any partner may be making anywhere around the world at any given time. As I said, what's important now is to see this process play out peacefully and according to the Constitution and the rule of law.
Britain approved a multi-billion-dollar mobile merger on Thursday. Vodafone and Hutchison's 3 UK were given permission to create the country's biggest mobile operator. Regulators had warned the deal could push up prices, but they accepted a pledge by the two companies to invest in 5G networks and offer protections for retail and wholesale customers. Britain's Competition and Markets Authority, or CMA, said they now believe the merger is likely to boost competition in the UK mobile sector. It added Vodafone and 3 must agree to implement the proposed measures. The approval follows a demand by Prime Minister Keir Starmer for regulators to put economic growth at the front of their thinking. It also marks a major shift in the CMA's belief that 4 operators were needed to ensure competition and keep consumer bills low. Vodafone and 3 have committed to spend $14 billion to build a better 5G network serving 50 million customers. Regulators believe the investment should drive competition between the 3 remaining networks. They also think it could eventually deliver a better service for customers. Vodafone will own 51% of the combined company, and it will have an option to buy the remainder after 3 years subject to certain conditions. Vodafone shares were up slightly in early trading.
Airbus is cutting just over 2,000 jobs in its defence and space division. That's about 5% of headcount in the unit. More than half the cuts will come in its space systems business, which has been making heavy losses on satellites. The company brought forward a statement confirming the news after reports by Reuters that cuts were planned. However, the restructuring is less fierce than expected. Back in October, the aerospace giant had said 2,500 jobs could go. Now it says the new plan will involve no compulsory redundancies. The cuts will be spread across the firm's 4 host nations, France, Germany, Spain and the UK. Airbus says the relevant governments have been briefed on the plan, which is part of a restructuring dubbed Proton. The space business has been a growing problem for European firms, which have specialised in large, complex satellites. They've been caught out by the move to smaller, cheaper orbiters, like those used by Elon Musk's Starlink space internet business. France's Thales is also in talks with unions over cuts to its space unit. Earlier this week, Reuters reported that it would join forces with Airbus and Italy's Leonardo to build a European rival to Starlink.
Shell and Norway's Equinor will merge their British offshore oil and gas assets into an equal joint venture. They announced the deal on Thursday. Based in Aberdeen, Scotland, the venture is expected to produce over 140,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day. The new entity will become the British North Sea's biggest independent producer, but Shell told reporters that there's no intention to conduct an initial public offering. The ageing British North Sea basin, where production started in the 1970s, has seen a steady exit of oil companies in recent decades as production declined. The British government's decision to impose a windfall tax on North Sea producers following a surge in energy costs in 2022, has further put pressure on producers to reduce investment and exit the basin. Equinor is currently developing the Rosebank oil field, one of the last known major oil reservoirs in Britain, while Shell is developing the Jackdaw gas field. A range of exploration licenses are also thought to be part of the transaction. The companies expect completion of the deal by the end of next year.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol is now set to face an impeachment vote in parliament this weekend. On Tuesday, Yoon made a botched attempt to implement martial law, with parliament lifting the order only hours later. But that wasn't before a chaotic night that saw armed troops deploy near the National Assembly and clash with lawmakers. On Thursday, the country's opposition Democratic Party said they'll put up a vote Saturday evening over whether to impeach Yoon. The opposition needs at least 8 ruling party votes to pass the bill. His ruling party is divided, but has said it will oppose impeachment. If the bill passes, South Korea's constitutional court will decide on impeachment in up to 180 days. Also on Thursday, Yoon accepted the resignation of Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun. Kim had recommended Yoon declare martial law on Tuesday, according to the Interior Minister, a senior military official, and the filing to impeach Yoon by opposition members. In a parliament hearing Thursday, Vice Defense Minister Kim Seon-ho said that his former boss had also ordered the deployment of troops. The vice minister also said he had been unaware of the martial law order until Yoon announced it. The martial law plan sought to ban political activity and censor the media. It sparked public anger in South Korea's streets and set off international concern. Yoon has been seen by Western leaders as a partner in the US-led effort to counter rising authoritarianism. On Wednesday, US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said he had not been informed about Yoon's plans in advance, while his deputy called it a serious mistake.
Apple appears to be facing trouble with AI in China. Tech publication The Information says it's struggling to adapt Baidu's artificial intelligence models for its phones. The report says there are problems with the model's understanding of prompts and its accuracy in responding to common scenarios. Elsewhere in the world, Apple uses tech from ChatGPT maker OpenAI. But AI systems from US firms are unavailable in China, leaving the market to local companies. Neither firm commented on the report. But if confirmed, it would be bad news for Apple in a very tough market. Recent figures showed its phone sales slipping 0.3% in China in the third quarter, while local rival Huawei posted a 42% surge. And AI is a key battleground. Apple's launch of its latest iPhone 16 in September drew scorn in China for lacking the new technology. The Information says the tech giant's privacy policies also block collection of data from iPhone users who make AI-related queries, data that Baidu wants to save and analyze. The report says the Chinese firm's latest model, Ernie 4.0, is the basis for the iPhone services.
From how tech helpers are paying off for retailers to why robots could be getting real. This is AI Weekly. Retailers got a boost from the bots over the Black Friday weekend. Estimates by Salesforce showed stores using AI tools to assist customers saw a 15% higher purchase rate on the Saturday. Shoppers have also been using Gen AI tools like Amazon's Rufus chatbot to track prices and find deals. The week also saw Amazon unveil a slate of new AI models. Dubbed Nova, they are meant to offer text, video, and image generation, and be faster and cheaper than previous iterations. Amazon also promised an AI-enhanced version of its Alexa voice assistant. A Norway and Silicon Valley-based company wants to win the race to bring robots into homes. Bernd Bornich is CEO and founder of 1X, and says AI is integral to its Neo bot.
In the long term, this will be doing your laundry, cleaning your house, tidying, and generally giving you back a lot of time in life.
The robots in this demonstration were piloted by humans remotely, but the market-ready version will use AI and will come next year. 1X says it'll cost about the same as a mid-priced new car. Washington has unveiled a third round of curbs on the supply of US parts to Chinese chip makers. It's all part of a bid to stop the country developing AI processors for military use. But firms hit by the controls said they would just speed up local production in response. And ChatGPT maker OpenAI faces new trouble over how it trains its bots. 5 Canadian news media companies have filed suit against the firm, alleging it regularly breached copyright on their content as part of the process. OpenAI has denied all wrongdoing, saying it only uses publicly available material for training.